Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great weekend. For this edition of Broccoli Hut Entertainment, I will be talking about my refrigerator and pantry. Now before you think I'm crazy, let me explain. Tina from Carrots and Cake, she had her readers a few weeks ago send in photographs of their refrigerators to kind of reveal a little bit about themselves and their eating habits. At the time, I was kind of dissatisfied with the state of my refrigerator, and so I didn't submit a photograph. However, I recently purged my refrigerator and pantry of all the clutter and organized it all. And so now I thought I would show you my refrigerator and my pantry. I think how you maintain your refrigerator or your pantry is important because it's vital to your nutrition in terms of the content and your efficiency in terms of the organization. So, without further ado, let's take a little field trip over to the refrigerator and pantry. First up, the first side of the pantry. Up top, we got the oils and exotic ingredients such as nutritional yeast flakes, flax seeds, garbanzo flour, pumpkin. Not really sure why I consider that exotic ingredients, but you know, whatever. Notice my handy dandy label maker. Those have been there for years. I've been OCD my whole life. And this is the baking shelf. My favorites are the special dark cocoa, and of course there's whole wheat flour and shredded coconut. Here we've got the snack shelf with some, not whole grain crackers, but they're multi-grain, so it's better than nothing, right? And those are all the opened ones. Down here we have lots and lots of whole grains, which we all know is vital for optimal nutrition. Got some whole wheat orzo and some barley, whole wheat couscous, I use that quite often, and regular quinoa as well as red quinoa, and a bunch of pastas back there. We also have some unopened snacks, organic popcorn, one of my favorites. Down here we have some unopened goods. Quite an assortment of salad dressings. I'm not the only one in this household who has a slight obsession with salad dressings. Some Newman's Own pasta sauce, my favorite. My favorite kind of tahini. Ball my mall jams. We have quite a few jams, as you can see there too. Down here we have some more kind of prepared meal type things. We have some cake mixes as well as shelf-stable Indian meals. I love this. Moving on to the other side. We have some soups up there. I'm trying to get my dad to reduce his sodium intake because he has high blood pressure, so we have some reduced sodium soup there. We got quite an assortment of boxed cereals here. My favorite, Goleen. Oh, and up there, forgot to mention, that's where I keep all of my cooked grains for breakfast. Got steel cut oatmeal, whole grain cream of wheat. And down here to the canned goods. I am a firm believer in purchasing canned goods. As long as you look for low sodium varieties, I think they are just as healthful as fresh. Well, maybe a little bit less so, but I rely entirely on canned beans. Call me lazy, but I never think ahead of time in terms of cooking from dried. Down here is the Caroline shelf. Yep, that's 6 cans of hemp protein out there. Yep. Some boxed tofu back there, and my favorite snacks, including some pretzels. And over here, this is quite an extensive selection of dried fruits and nuts. I like to keep them in airtight containers rather than bags because they stay a lot fresher that way. That's pecans there. some almonds, and then down there that's just my tea supply. Moving on to the refrigerator. Up top we got the salty shelf featuring some of the Broccoli Hut favorites such as the olives, whole grain mustard, vegan mayonnaise, and roasted red peppers. Down here we got the sweet shelf with yet another wide selection of jams, wheat germ, another favorite, and lots of nut butter. Yep, this entire row here is Fudders. And we got some almond butter, peanut butter, tahini, all the huge. And this is the dairy shelf with eggs and yogurt. Got lots of Chobani for high protein, low fat dairy. And this is kind of the leftovers shelf. I try to use glass containers as much as possible because I think that they keep foods fresher. And this is kind of the beverage shelf with kombucha, as well as some soy milk and some coconut milk. And this is kind of the meat and cheese drawer that I don't really use too much. That's my parents mostly. This is where I usually build my meals from, the vegetable drawer. Just got some of that squash from the farmer's market. Pretty psyched about that. And this is kind of the Caroline drawer with lots of mangoes, as well as some low-fat cheese, and lots of hummus, and seitan. Quick shot of the condiments, with plenty of oil-based salad dressings, king-size container of Annie's Goddess dressing, some organic ketchup, and some beverages. Finally, the freezer. Up top we have some meals that my mom can prepare quickly since she doesn't like to cook. Her ice cream stash, some frozen soup leftovers, my shelf with the sunshine burgers, and some tempeh and edamame. Here's the bread drawer with some Ezekiel bread, an embarrassing amount of pita bread, and down there is where we keep the fish and meat, which obviously I don't eat. And that is an extensive supply of frozen vegetables. This is where all the smoothie magic happens, frozen fruit. And then down here we have some frozen cranberries I just found yesterday, as well as some soy-based vanilla ice cream. And with that, I think we'll call it a day.